Erik Ten Hag, the manager of Manchester United, has come out and defended his first signing of the summer, that is Mason Mount. We are going to discuss all this and see whether Mason Mount is going to come out and we'll have a better game today as we take on Tottenham Hotspur. Welcome to United Matters channel. How are you guys and where are you watching us from? I go by the names of Rock and David. Smash like button, comment and share. If you're watching us for the very first time, endeavor to subscribe to this channel so as not to miss out on stories that we do upload in here on a daily. Now, Mason Mount is really one of those that's going to hate, obviously, have one of the ugly stats of the season ever since Ten Hag came in through. I'd like to take you back to all the signings that Erik Ten Hag is going to hate to make. They're going to hate to have some good impact. Even Casemiro, who struggled in the first 2-3 games, but he saw to it that he had something different he's bringing to the team. And all of us, the anxiousness of Mason Mount, as far as his mobility and intensity in the midfield was concerned, has gone ahead to obviously go down in the mud. Let's see close to 300 likes smash this video. Here we go. Now, what did Ten Hag first say? Ten Hag said the following about Mount. He's very smart in the game. He has the technical ability and a good vision of the game. He knows how to handle the ball. All the ingredients are in place to make it happen. Now, this is one of the things I'm really waiting to see. It will take me time to obviously say that he has what we call the technical ability. If you talk about technical ability, I think you are talking about Eriksen. That is what we call the technical ability of the player. You know, technicality is not learned. It's part of talent. And Mason Mount is not one of those talented players that you obviously want to have in your team, especially if I told Erik Ten Hag. But if I thought Ten Hag came out and made that decision to have him on the field of play, lead the line, play in that midfield, then you have to give him benefit of doubt. If it doesn't work out, obviously we'll come back here and obviously select him. That is it, because most of us, you know, apart from us backing the manager, we are not happy with the signing of Mason Mount. That is known throughout the fan base of Manchester United. He knows how to handle the ball, all the ingredients in place to make it happen. Is he really good at handling the ball? That is another statement put out by Erik Ten Hag. But I don't blame Erik Ten Hag because it's his job to defend. It's his job to defend his signings. But he went for Mason Mount knowing that Mason Mount is not the problem of Manchester United. That is it. He was not the problem of Manchester United. All we needed was a player who could play next to Casemiro. Maybe he had a lot of thought in Kobbie Mainoo, but Kobbie Mainoo got an injury. Looking like this season, Ten Hag was really so much ready to play Mason Mount in a central attack midfield area and Bruno Fernandes as a right winger, because he wanted to play Kobbie Mainoo next to Casemiro. And that takes us back to a very big question, that why did we need Amrabat? We needed Amrabat because we knew he could play next to Casemiro and play in the single pivot. Maybe he wanted to get Sofian Amrabat to play some games with Kobbie Mainoo because Casemiro needs some rest. You know, we played very many games last season. That's one of the things that people don't put into account, and they come out and obviously don't consider it. But Mason Mount, we wait and see what happens. He added on and said that Christian Eriksen went through the same situation. It was the first time in his life that he played in a lower role. Mason Mount wants to be more versatile, like I said. It won't happen overnight. There is a process to follow. Now, I think Christian Eriksen played in that role. We saw something different he offers to us. And in the first 10 games of the season, we saw him register some good assists, some good secondary assists, and obviously building up from the back. But because Mason Mount is not a press-resistant player, we've found ourselves in a situation of really getting our midfield exposed, and we cannot build from the back like we're not having Eriksen. So I don't like the comparison, but apart from the athleticism, what else that Mason Mount offer? I would even want to make one of the statements I wouldn't have to make, but they are right. I think if you play Scott McTominay in the double pivot with Casemiro, you can have a better double pivot than that of Mason Mount and Casemiro. Why? Scott McTominay is good every time he's running with the ball into the final third of the opponent. And secondly, he offers presence, tackling, and physicality in the second half, in the second third of the pitch. That is it. I don't know whether you guys are going to agree with me, but I feel Scott McTominay can offer better than Mason Mount being played in the double pivot. Even Bruno Fernandes can play better in the double pivot, and I think it's better to obviously start thinking about Mason Mount being played as a central attack midfielder if at all you want instant results, because the more he goes ahead and obviously doesn't offer or perform or put in the shift in every game you're going to play, he's really going to find himself slated. Even the game you're going to play today against Tottenham Hotspur, if he doesn't show up, then lots of things are really going to be up into question at Manchester United. The more he takes long to obviously perform, he's going to obviously get slated. For example, look at Antony. If Antony had not scored in his consecutive 3 Premier League games, right, at Manchester United, he would have gone ahead to obviously get slated and maybe lose concentration that would have made him a good player at the club of Manchester United. But the beauty is that he scored on his debut, and we are playing against Arsenal. He played close to 53 minutes and was taken off. Then he scored against Everton and he scored against Man City. In those 3 games, he had 3 goals, and he had gone ahead to score goal spectaculars in those games. So that's what makes him a different kind of player altogether, and people had something to base on and say, all right, let's wait and see whether he's going to surpass those levels. But for Mason Mount, it's not happening like that. I don't see him being given the benefit of doubt, not until he either scores a goal or puts in assists for the club of Manchester United. That is Mason Mount for you. And lastly, the last defense that Erik ten Hag threw in for Mason Mount was, I think Mount can play lower. We saw that during preseason, but it's true that we have to work on many aspects of our game, but also on the midfield and cooperation, on how we have to step it up. I'm sure we will get there, but it doesn't happen overnight. I'm also sure that we can get something out of Mason Mount, but in the season where we want to obviously compete for the trophy, because Ten Hag's motto is we have to win every game, you cannot rely on the readiness of Mason Mount, because we don't know when he's going to be ready, and we don't know when he's going to obviously go in and put in a shift. That is Mason Mount for you. So, to my understanding, we just need the best of the best, and the best of the best is to get in Sofiane Amrabat as Kobe Menu really gets his injury to a cure, such that we get pure competition from this club of Manchester United. And one problem that Erik ten Hag has is he's not going to go ahead and obviously bench a £60 million player. That is it. But with time, I know he'll get to know that it's beyond his reach, and he's going ahead to give Mason Mount his chances, and Mason Mount has gone ahead not to utilize them. So I back Erik ten Hag on that. Let him give Mason Mount the chances he really desires, and when he fails to obviously prove to the world that he's good, the entire nation will know that Erik ten Hag gave him chances and he never really went ahead to utilize them. That is it. And for those chances, Mount will obviously have to really have 10 games. The first 10 games of the season are going to be important for Mason Mount. If at all he doesn't really put in the shift, then we'll find ourselves in a situation of losing out onto the best of the games that we play. So lastly, let's talk about Bruno Fernandes, and the captain of Manchester United coming out and saying the following: we must always fight for the highest balls, highest goals. Ours must be to win all the trophies we are in contention for. This club deserves it, and history tells us that we must be among the contenders. So I like the mentality for the captain, calling us to win all these trophies. If you're Man United, you have to win every tournament you are in. But the way we started is a question to many whether we can obviously do that. But I tell you, teams like Man City have always gone ahead to have bad starts and obviously went ahead to stabilize in the final third of the season, and they obviously got lifting the trophy. So guys, your thoughts on Ten Hag defending Mason Mount are really welcome in the comment section below. What do you make about Bruno Fernandes calling in for the high standards of the game, and we should target winning trophies? Aside that for now, see you later. I cover you all in the precious blood of Jesus Christ. I pray to you that internet is my best friend to help me stream to you as we discuss the starting 11 of Man United versus Tottenham Hotspur. I cover you all in the precious blood of Jesus Christ. My Muslim viewers and subscribers, Barakallahu Fikum.